Rev up your engines!
Well, here's something that may really start to change things with building of all kinds of stuff in the United States that requires rare elements. They claim that 2.34 billion metric tons of rare earth minerals were discovered in Wyoming that could make us the world leader in precious metals. Presently, it's China. Now, China has 44 million metric tons, and this is 2.3 billion metric tons. Now, it's based on drillings that they took in various proposed mines in Wyoming. And they've only drilled 25% of the property that they own in Wyoming that this company's been looking for rare minerals. All these minerals that they found, they're used for hybrid car motors, military technology, and smartphones. As it stands today, as much as 95% of processed rare earth minerals come from China. And we import 74% of ours from China. Be a big deal. You can find the stuff here. Now, the thing is, as I say, it's processed in China. Chinese don't necessarily have it in China. They buy up mines in South America and different things, right? Bring it to China and process it, because processing this stuff is a filthy business. In the United States, there's laws to stop pollution. It makes it very expensive to do. In China, they don't have any kind of either laws, or they don't bother enforcing any of the laws for it. They got all that pollution in China, and that's why processed. Notice they didn't say rare materials. They said processed. So they can pollute the heck out of China. Cheaper to do, and that's why it comes from China. It's not just they have the stuff, because they don't have that much of the raw material themselves. They process it there. So there'd have to be a radical change here in allowing them to process this stuff. And it's a very polluting thing. It leaves a giant mess, pollutes the water, pollutes the air most of the time. So, hey, maybe they'll find the stuff here, but it's going to be a big deal processing in the United States, because it's a very polluting thing. If you've ever been to any kind of mines, those are one of the most polluting things. That's why a bunch of mines in the United States over the last few decades have been shut down. They polluted so much, the government shut them down from polluting too much. Then they just leave their giant mess sitting there. I've seen it in the West of the United States, abandoned mines, and there's polluted streams everywhere. So maybe they're going to find these precious minerals, but are they going to process them here? It'd be interesting to see what happens. Well, I warn you that Hondas aren't made as well as they used to be. There's an email from one of you viewers explaining the problems they're having with their Honda. They got this notice from Honda, and here's what it says. Due to a manufacturing error, certain service part electric power steering gearbox assemblies were not made properly. Honda will inspect the electronic power steering gearbox, and if necessary, replace it. It's a 2022 Civic. They might have to replace the power steering. Honda didn't used to have these problems years ago. They worked fine. Well, then let's put on electronic power steering. Now, the mechanical ones that have worked for ages pretty flawlessly, that's not good enough. Let's make them electronic, because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to make an electronic power system. It's very expensive to make a hydraulic pump, all the lines, a steering box that has to accept up to 1,500 pounds per square inch pressure from the pump to give you power steering. Oh, we'll put an electric motor, that'll boost it fine. Yeah, they can't make them right. And man, when they do break and you have to pay for it, it's an expensive endeavor, right? So, it's just showing Hondas, they're not making them as well as they used to make them. They just aren't. They're screwing up. Even some of the Consumer Report things have dropped a bunch of Hondas from their better cars because of it. Somehow their quality is starting to go downhill in Honda. Honda needs to get their act together, or they're going to end up like Ford Motor Company. Oh, here's a little irony for you. This is a Tesla roadside assistant truck. It's to help people stranded with Teslas. It's a gasoline truck filling up at the gas tank to go rescue the electric vehicles. Why doesn't Tesla have electric vehicles to rescue the electric vehicles? You know why? Because they're not dependable. You get stranded somewhere. So here we have it. An official Tesla van that's made to rescue Tesla customers. And it's a gasoline-powered vehicle. It's not electric. All I got to do is laugh at that one. They can't even trust their own technology to go on. It kind of reminds me of a hilarious story years ago. I was driving down a road past the BMW dealer, and out was coming the truck that the BMW dealership owned that delivered parts. It was a Toyota. And I thought, what a scream, the BMW dealers delivering their own parts, not with a BMW vehicle, but with a Toyota vehicle, because they don't break down and they were more convenient. It wasn't like they're selling electric cars and then they rescue with a gasoline truck. What hypocrisy. I mean, that picture, what do they say? Picture's worth 1,000 words? Well, that one certainly is. Well, I found out recently that Costco has a deal that if you buy tires from them, they install them on your car, balance them and all that stuff, and even give you the free warranty for them if you buy the tires at their store, right? And that's a big deal because if you go and buy tires at a tire place, by the time you're done, what they charge you to put them on and to balance them and to give you a warranty, you are adding as much as 40% of the price of your tires because they artificially pretend they're giving you a deal and then, well, it adds $20 to balance each one and you got to buy the insurance if you want that and that's $18 a tire. Then we got to mount them and that costs them blah, 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 right? When I was a young mechanic, my father, Lewiston, a textile station, we did just like the Costco. They bought tires from us. We put them on for free. We didn't charge extra, right? Well, all the discount tire stores, they charge you extra these days. Costco isn't, but there's one problem. Some of these people have gone to the Costcos and they're complaining on the internet. I was there for 3 hours. I was there for 4 hours waiting to get my tires put on. Look, let me tell you something. You go to a discount store, you expect service, you're insane. You go to those places, half the time you can't find anybody that's even going to answer your question, right? If you think they're going to put your tires on fast, you're out of your minds. Especially if they're busy. You could save hundreds of dollars buying it there, getting all that stuff free, right? A lot of people are going to do it. You're going to have to wait. That's how the world goes these days, right? These people were complaining about it, but I mean, hey, person who was complaining, let me tell you something. I've been in this business for a long time, 56 years. Most tire stores, discount tire stores, they're going to charge you for the stuff, right? But you got to leave your car there and pick it up later in the day. They take forever to do stuff too, you know? I mean, if you ever look at the fact, most of the workers in those places are minimum wage. Half the time they don't even balance your tires right. I've had so many people bring me cars from discount tire places and the car's shaking and I say, they didn't balance your tires right probably. And I take them off, put them in my balancing machine and say they're way off balance. You know, so you know, they're not doing such a hot job even at the discount tire stores. But be prepared to wait at any of those places, any of those giant corporate places. Hey, service is not their thing. We think it's nuts here in the United States with these woke people. There is a bill that's going in the Canadian Parliament that would give jail terms for people who speak well of fossil fuels. Now, this is in Canada. An NDP bill seeking to criminalize the promotion of fossil fuels and prescribe jail time, even for Canadians who say scientifically true things like how burning natural gas is cleaner than burning coal. As written, this act would technically apply to any Canadian who's found to be speaking well of the oil industry, of oil generally. I hate to tell this clown, whose name is Charlie Angus, you got a big oil business going there in Alberta, man. Yeah, it's big money. I don't think that this guy's bill is probably going to pass, right? But the point that he's trying to put it in shows there are woke lunatics in Canada as well as the United States. Friends of mine in Toronto tell me it's getting worse and worse in Canada every day with these woke crazy people. If you violate this proposed law, prescribes summary conviction, a fine of up to $500,000. So you think it's bad here? It's worse in Canada with these woke lunatics. Well, here's some advice. Don't do stupid things in your cars or motorcycles and then put them on YouTube. Because this dude from Texas did. He filmed himself going super fast on his motorcycle between Colorado Springs and Denver, and he said he did it in 20 minutes, right? Well, that's a 55-mile trip. And he was weaving in between traffic, and the idiot put it on YouTube. So now they found the guy, and they arrested him. I mean, one, it's stupid to do things like that anyways, right? But it's doubly stupid if you film it and put it on YouTube. Look at me, I'm an idiot. I'm going as fast as I can, weaving and look how cool it is. Well, guess what? Now he's arrested. We'll see what happens to him. You shouldn't do stupid things, right? And it was between the two cities. He's weaving into traffic. I mean, if you want to be crazy, go to Montana or something. On those roads where they have no speed limit, where there's hardly anybody in the whole state, right? And go as fast as you want. Your own business. You want to fly off a cliff? That's your business, right? But certainly don't do it in congested traffic and film it and put it on YouTube. I mean, have people lost their minds? Well, it's kind of obvious. Some people have lost their minds. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.